Now that Storm Arena has revealed their first pre-order and it is Baki, it is time to look back at Jada Toys to compare the two. Welcome to Jada Toys versus Storm Arena Round 1 pre-orders. To kick things off, I want to tell you about this Baki Hama on BBTS. This figure is sold out directly on the website. However, it's still available on the website for pre-order. I highly recommend you go and pick this figure up. Support Storm Arena. Even if you're a fan of just Jada Toys, for an example, in their Street Fighter line, this is like a direct comparison between Jada and Storm Arena, and it's $25. So if you spent $25 on the Ryu, try spending $25 on this Baki. I guarantee you won't regret your purchase. This is a silicone body. This will get your foot in the door with Storm Collectibles, and you would, get a little taste of the better things in life. And, the thing about it is that we don't know if these figures are going to be re-released. This may be, if you got your pre-order in, then you're secured. But if you did not, you're going to have to spend $75, maybe $100 for it. Do not be that guy or woman. Make sure you pick this figure up. You will not regret it. I promise you that. It's $25. That is a meal at McDonald's. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and do a little comparisons here. For starters, I want to talk about reveals, okay? Jada Toys revealed all of their lineup for the Street Fighter line at San Diego Comic-Con in 2022. All right, so that's a little over 2 years. We had Fang Long, we had Ryu, and then we had Chun-Li, and this Fei Long face actually looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. So this went up in July of 2022. Pre-orders started in February of 2023, and of course you could have got that at BBTS and then Entertainment Earth. And then once the figure was actually exclusively released at Target. So there's 3 locations you could have got this figure from. 3, or figures, okay? 3 locations. Now let's quickly jump over to Storm Arena. Storm Arena revealed their 1/12 scale figures on October 1st of 2024. And then now we just had our first pre-order go live, yesterday? So October, November, December, January. So about 3 months, practically 3 months later, we got our first pre-order. So let that sit in. With Jada Toys, it took about 6 or 7 months before we got our first pre-order versus Storm Arena, who revealed 3 figures on October 1st, and pre-orders went live January 17th, 3 months later. Okay, I'm just gonna lay that there. And what's crazy, the craziest part is that they showed off the prototype for Baki. You would have thought Ryu and Ken would have been up for pre-order first, but it was Baki first. And we're gonna get more into that. So Storm Arena had a quicker pre-order date for the figures versus Jada. Now, where can you pre-order those figures from? I mentioned earlier, you could have got it from Entertainment Earth, you could have got it from BBTS, and you could have got it from Target once the figure releases. That's like 3 locations, and I believe there might have been more. Let's just say, for right now, 3 locations: Target, BBTS, Entertainment Earth. Now for Baki, you only have 2 locations you can get this figure. You could have got it directly from Storm Collectibles, but it sold out super quick. And yes, I am a little upset I missed the pre-order because I wanted to know how much shipping and handling would have been for this figure at $25 to the United States from Hong Kong. What was the shipping? If any of you all know, down below, please comment and let me know, because I'm dying to know what the shipping would have cost. However, we do have a somewhat great alternative, BBTS, for their Baki Storm Arena. Now, for those of you who do not know, Storm Collectibles has an exclusive distribution rights with BBTS. Basically, this is where you get Storm Collectibles and Storm Arena figures domestically here in the United States. And at $25, still a very strong competitor for Jada Toys. All right, that was a lot. Now, the next thing I want to get into is going to be this review here of the figure. So, the reveal was in July of 2022. 6 months later, we got the pre-orders. All right, and then 4 months later, we got the figures. So we don't know how long it's going to take for us to get the Baki figure. Pre-orders went up in January. It's saying Q3. So that's earliest is going to be July. Latest is going to be September. And that's about 6 or 7 months. 6 or 7 months to 9 months. Okay. So we don't know what that's going to be yet. But it's not looking too good for them. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what the figures come with. So with Ryu, you can see the packaging here. Unfortunately, we don't know what it's going to look like yet for Storm Arena. Maybe something similar. Hopefully it's just like their Storm collectibles. It's just going to be smaller and shrunk down. That would be perfectly fine for me. I don't have any issues with that, and it's collector friendly. These are somewhat collector friendly. I do have the M Bison, by the way, so I'm not just talking out of my ass here. With the figure, you're going to be getting 2 head sculpts, 2 pairs of hands, and then the Hadouken stand with the effect. Okay, so that's all you're going to be getting with this figure. I think it's perfect. It's appropriate for Ryu, and you can also use a Hadouken for other characters that it applies to, so you get more usability out of the accessory. Now let's go ahead and take a look over at Baki. Now with Baki, it's a lot of stuff to get into here, so we've got some stuff to talk about. For Baki, you're getting the figure itself, you're getting 2 head sculpts similar to Ryu. However, you're getting 3 pairs of hands, and then you're getting an actual figure stand. So here's my dilemma. With Ryu, although it is a nice release, a nice set, you're getting everything you need for the character, Baki, on the other hand, has an accessory that can be used for the entirety of Storm Arena going forward. We're talking plus 100 releases. This first release with the action figure stand is going to, retain its value long up to the 100th release of a Storm Arena figure, and that is great. You're getting 3 pairs of hands, so you're getting an additional set of hands. Where Ryu has an effect piece, Baki is getting an extra pair of hands, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it works greatly. Now, when you take a direct look at both figures, that's when you see a difference, and it is night and day. Let's go ahead and get a close-up real quick of the figure. All right, here we go. So when you look at these figures and you just get like a little body post here, the detailing for me, it's more with Baki. Now, to be fair, the character design is a lot simpler than Ryu. I will give them that. But for me, I think the detailing is a lot better with Baki. And to be frank, this render right here that we have of Ryu does not correlate to what we have here. Now, don't get me wrong. I know a lot of you in the comments and a lot of viewers and collectors of Jada toys, they love this gritty, more realistic look. I do too. I totally get where you're coming from. I look at this figure and I can say, hey, I know this figure is like this character or whoever is from Asia. Like, that's the vibe I get. I wouldn't say Japanese, maybe like a Filipino or something like that, but that's the vibe that I get. And I think that's pretty much what's most important. Although when you're looking at your source material and you're trying to mimic and you're trying to reflect and trying to give us that directly from the source, then we have Baki right here. And, they did an outstanding job. Oh, let's see here. If I can get a little close up. Where is... there we go. So you can see, when you compare these two together, especially like the head sculpts, it looks good. Could it be better? Yes, obviously. But when you compare it to Storm Arena at $25, this is beat for beat. This is not beat for beat. This here is like looks directly from the character out of the anime. They did a great job here. All right, let's continue on here. Let's go and jump into articulation, because that's going to be a big one. Here, we're just going to get one that's going to... No, not yet. Look at the articulation here. It's unmatched. So when it comes to direct comparisons from the source material to the end product, you can just see here. Yeah, this character never done anything crazy before or what have you, but the articulation wise, Baki is killing it. Now, someone did ask in the comments why the shorts are like so wide and things like that, and that is so that you can get the better movement, and you can see even here in the ankles, even here at the foot. When you look at here, they could have extended it, yeah, but um, it looks really good. And one thing I'll say is how you can see this hinge right here. Well, I guess you really can't, but right here versus on this one, it's not as noticeable. So when it comes to direct comparison to how the figure goes to its source material and things like that, I mean, I have to give it to Storm Arena. I just have to give the Storm Arena. This figure looks incredible. It's got a great price. I'm a fan of the silicone, whereas Ryu and Jada Toys, they have like the harder plastic, and in some cases it does look well. Now, I'm not trying to knock the detailing on this figure because it's there. The paint is there, the texture is there in the gi, the articulation is there. I have M. Bison, and the figure is fun just to pick up and to articulate and just to play with. That I cannot take away from Jada Toys. But when we're looking at the details, and I know we can go a little deeper and say, well, Storm Arena will not release a whole roster like Jada Toys will. Well, that's yet to be seen, so we can't make those statements yet. Yeah, there's history there for Storm, but, you know, Storm Collectibles had Fei Long go up for pre-order, and within 6 months the figure released, and we'll cover that later on in another video. Storm Collectibles is also releasing almost every KOF figure this year. There's a whole bunch of pre-orders from last year and this year releasing all of these KOF figures. They're definitely trying to complete a roster to keep some of you close. But with Storm Arena, it's a breath of fresh air. And if I had to call it Jada versus Storm Arena, just on the pre-orders alone and what everyone's thinking, I know we don't have the figure in hand to pose, but sometimes when a figure looks this good, you just know without even having to hold it. Hopefully that doesn't backfire. Hopefully the QC issues are not there, but we'll have to wait and see. But when it comes to Jada versus Storm Arena, I mean, I'm just going to call it now. Like, in a few years from now, everyone's going to be talking about Storm Arena for sure. And even in this pre-order battle is what I'm going to call it, I got to say, if you line up both figures side by side and I had $25, you know, I'm going to go towards Baki. A lot of you are going to say Street Fighter. Arguably so. A lot of us grew up on Street Fighter, so it just makes more sense for a lot of you to pick Ryu over Baki. But if we're looking at it from a critical standpoint, where am I going to get my money the best out of? It's going to be Storm Arena, primarily because of that stand and just the expressions and pairs of hands that you're going to get with the figure. Baki is not known in the show or in general to have special effects, but we have Ryu and Ken to come. And Ryu and Kim is really going to like set reality in for you all, and I just can't wait for that, because I know it's going to be an eye-popping moment for a lot of Jada collectors. And I'm not trying to divide nobody. I'm just saying, as someone who has been reviewing Storm collectible figures for as long as I have, Jada Toys has got some competition, and you're seeing it now, and we're going to see it probably next week or by the end of the month with Ryu and Ken. So I hope you all are ready. We're going to cover that too. Thank you all for watching. Right now, I've got my hat on Storm Arena on this first round for pre-orders. They revealed their figures and got the pre-orders opened very quick versus Jada that almost took half a year to do, if not about a half a year to do. The one thing holding them back is that we don't know how quickly the figure is going to be released. If it's released in June, then that's great. If it's released in May, that's fabulous. We have to wait and see. Thank you all for watching. Comment below. Let's get some debates going in the comment section down below, because I'm curious to know what you all are thinking and just feeling. Obviously, I'm going to reply to you all as much as I can. Thank you all for watching and supporting the channel, and we will see you all in the next video. Peace.